I am muted. Oh, what would I do without you? What's going on, McGinnis man? What's going on, world? What's going on, universe? What's going on, everybody else? I got these sick porno beats. I got a belly full of chicken wings, and I'm ready to tackle this Wednesday stream with the gusto and the vigor of the late great Robin Williams. Oh my god. Oh, let me stretch it out. Let me give me one moment to stretch it out. Give me two hot minutes to stretch it out. If you remember last time, we're playing a mod that increases the mob density to tenfold. By the way, before we begin, like in earnest, I would like to know. I think last time I posted one of these, somebody said that the chat is a little distracting. It's a little too large, a little too in the way of things. How does it look? Does it look good? Does it look like of a decent size? Let me check my OBS real quick. I'll tell you what. Whenever we get into it, whenever the chat's all flowing, like chat tends to be, we'll figure it out then. But until then, perfect. How are you doing on this wonderful Wednesday, McGinnis man? I forgot. I forgot how lickety split fast we move in this mod. Doing a little drive-by action. Honestly, I should let people know ahead of time that it's going to be 10 times the mobs, 10 times the movement speed. It's all or nothing. McGinnis man, will you please tell me? So there's a reason that Valheim is like popping off right now. Also, fuck, I miss comic book shops. But Valheim is like the most popular game right now by like a magnitude. I think that there are like that over 2 million copies were sold in a single day, which is bonkers. Is this going to be the new Rust? So from what I understand, it's just a just like a pretty well-made sort of procedurally generated survival crafter game. Which I mean, pretty exciting. If it's well made, it's well made. What's the primary thrust? I know that this is not your this is not your job to convince me to play a game, but if you had to, if you wanted to give me the strongest argument for purchasing and playing Valheim, what would it be? What are we doing with our devotions, by the way? Got all of Rowan's Crown, and we're going to make our way towards Blind Sage and Ataxaru. It's like Minecraft plus Rust with Vikings. Okay. Fair enough. That tells me just about everything I need to know. Right on. Okay, we need 18 green and 16 purple. We can just go into Empty Throne and then just get like really efficient green constellations like Raven and Spider. Probably the way to go. All right. And how much is Valheim? It's like $25, right? It's pretty reasonable. 20? Oh, it's only 20 bucks? That's really not bad. Okay. Only 1 gigabyte? Oh my god. I spent a huge portion of my internet today re-downloading Civ 6, which is such a huge game, because sometimes I just get the itch to play some Civ. Alright, Valheim. You know? I might join you on the hallowed fields of Valheim. Sooner rather than later. Hey, what's going on, Stanko? How you doing today, my friend? Also, the 10 players co-op. Honestly, I've been sort of itching for a game that's like begging me to dive in and explore its mechanics and figure it out from the top down. All right. Well, welcome from the middle of Oceania, my guy. Welcome to the stream. Living large in the continental United States. We are we live in Texas, in the state of Texas, in the United States. Callistorian Gavel, what are you? Fire damage? Runa Callistor? Oh, of course, Runa Callistor. And Conversion. Conversion is a Arcanist trait, so we're not going to pick that up. Honestly, Stormbox Algoloth is way more fun on increased speed, because then you can just take that Lighten Tether and drag it through everyone. Oh yeah, it's a crazy volatile time. It seems like things are chilling out a little bit, but you know, who really knows? We got the what, day 2 of the impeachment trial was today. I didn't watch any of it. I just sort of watch highlights after the fact. It's interesting because it's basically performative, right? We all know how it's going to end. Oh no, yeah. If there's one thing you can say about President Donald Trump, he is unprecedented. All right, what are we doing with our points here, gang? Probably more into Stormbox itself. That gives me more target area. About 40 flat lightning damage and more electrocute damage is probably the best bet. Plus better defensive ability shred. Just makes sense. Mana regen, I think we're in a decent place right about now. Originally it was we were hurting badly for mana regen, but now we've gotten a few mana regen devotions under our belt. We got the Bone Talisman. It's an interesting situation, and I won't linger on it too long because I know a lot of people aren't. Either people get bored or it's very divisive when we talk about politics. It's true. I mean, in politics in a country that's more stable? I mean, there are certainly countries right now that are less stable than the United States, like the military coup that's happening in Myanmar is, no matter what you think of it, it's crazy interesting. It's sad for the people, of course, but it's also a bit of a spectacle. You can watch it and just go, wow, I can't believe this is still happening. But you can sort of see that Donald Trump was able to whip up his support in such a fervor that modern day GOP representatives, modern day right-leaning Republicans, cannot neither endorse or stand against Donald Trump just because he's got so much of the base in his pocket. They can't exactly be hypocrites and say, oh, you know, what I think is happening is wrong, but they also can't say they can't come right out and endorse it. So it's just got to be their only option right now is to not play, and that's exactly what they're doing. They're saying, oh, technically you can't impeach somebody if they're not president anymore, so we're not going to do that. Honestly, yeah, the smarter political play. If I were, because whenever Donald Trump comes out the other side of an impeachment, it's been empirically shown that he gets even more support. It's sort of a vindication for all of his supporters that were saying, you know, we were told you that from the very beginning, this is how it was. So the smart move would be to not impeach, but to try to invoke the 14th Amendment, which you could do with only half support. No pit adventures today. We are staying pit free since 1993. Grim Dawn mod, yes sir. We are playing a Grim Dawn mod. The base features as mod are 10 times the amount of enemy density, as well as giving us a ridiculous move speed. I believe it's called Grim Dawn Density V5. Oh my gosh. I give me 1 second, guys. I do need to edit my stream info. Roguebook. I did the same thing on Monday. My bad. Done. Thank you. Thank you for the heads up. I appreciate that. Exactly right. That's the one that can prevent someone from holding office in the future. You just sort of invoke that with a simple majority. What's you know, I don't know what build I'm going for right now. The idea was just to go in and test the mod out a little bit, see what Grim Dawn looked like with more mob density. But you know, something kind of funny. I think maybe we'll go for a Virus Might Paladin. Maybe we'll go for something a bit more interesting. Yeah, honestly, with the 10 times the amount of mobs and the ridiculous movement speed, I might as well be playing Path of Exile. This is pretty much analogous, right? Where you go? There you are. I know. Yeah. Honestly, I was playing regular Grim Dawn the other day earlier today to film some footage for my newest build video. And man, it felt weird going back to regular movement speed. I can mod you in some 0 CD skills to make it truly feel like PoE. Like 0 CD Virus Might. I mean, we already have that, but... To me, when I think of Path of Exile, I think of being able to teleport across the screen in a single second and explode everything along the way. That's what Path of Exile means to me. All right, now we have a bit more people in here. Now the chat's popping off a little bit more. Can you guys let me know what you think about the size and opacity of the chat overlay on screen? Is it too much? Is it too little? Farmstead Liberator, Starseer's Cord. Ooh. Although I do like the Alchemist Belt quite a bit. Light Plates of Valor are great, actually. Bit big? Okay. Let's try to bring this down just a touch. Just a touch. Beautiful. It is Wednesday, my dudes. And what a Wednesday it is. What are you guys playing right now except for Grim Dawn? I was talking to McGinnis Man. McGinnis Man the man, of course. He's playing Valheim, and Valheim seems really... I don't know, I've literally... You see, in that Dungeons & Dragons sourcebook back there, I literally have a $20 Steam gift card that's just begging for me to use it. Just sitting there, waiting. And I'm thinking that I might just dip my toes into the Valheim pool. You're playing Valheim too, Sudri? God, everyone's playing Valheim. No, I'm not changing. I'm not necessarily changing it for you, wishlist. I'm just sort of taking you as a person who watches streams and enjoys streams at face value and taking what you might want into account. I'm sort of seeing again and again that, yeah, maybe the chat's a bit big and a bit too distracting. We gotta find a nice balance. Grim Dawn, Outer Wilds, Cyberpunk, Wasteland 3, and maybe Valheim if it grounds me. Mike Hollis, you like that this slippery move speed? I think the only sort of game like that I've ever played is Minecraft. I've never played Rust or DayZ or anything like that. We are still playing the 10 times spawn rate mod. It's easy content. It's interesting enough. It gives me a different perspective on Grim Dawn, which is always nice. Speaking of Speed Racer, I never watched Speed Racer as a kid. But have you ever gone back and watched old clips of Speed Racer and just saw how batshit insane that show is? That's the second time somebody's made a Path of Exile comment. They really are hilarious. it's crazy interesting to see the sort of different perspectives that people took when making shows back in the day. Because it's like, it's very evident to me that like Speed Racer was like, okay, what do kids want? Well, kids are stupid and they've got short attention spans. So we need to say everything we can as quickly as possible. We need to make the craziest thing happen, and we just need to get it out fast. Otherwise, kids are just they're gonna start doing drugs in the living room. They're gonna start tuning off our television program. We're not gonna get that sweet ad revenue. Are you talking about the Conan MMO? The best comparison I can come up for Valheim is 3D Terraria. I fucking love Terraria. That might be the best endorsement of Valheim yet. Oh yeah, no. What's going on, Talia? Absolutely. Oh yeah, regen focused builds are absolutely crazy, especially if you're going for something like Giant's Blood with all of their bonus health regen and stuff like that. You can get up to really crazy numbers. What's going on, Robin? Welcome to Grim Dawn. Welcome to perhaps the most egregious waste of time most of us have come across. I don't know what we're taking as our second class yet. You know, why don't you guys go ahead and text what class you want me to take to 355355. Of course, standard messaging rates do apply. Oh, Nightblade, yeah, you know, Nightblade's not a bad option. We can get weird with it. Do like a pure cold Inquisitor Nightblade. Was that a? It's not a witch hunter. It's something else. Infiltrator, yes, Infiltrator. All right. But then perhaps we are going to play Infiltrator. I don't have any qualms with that. I've honestly wanted to play like a ranged Pierce Infiltrator. I'm unsure which weapons I should be using. Of course, you're playing the Aether Auto Attacker, right? Yeah, those hardcore achievements in Grim Dawn can be really sweaty, especially like the higher Shattered Realms ones. Killing any of the Celestials can all be tough. I'm actually not sure what we are indeed. We are indeed. That's twitch.tv/armoredotter. Yeah, that doing hardcore Shattered Realms is a stressful endeavor. Let's just do that for now. Robin, if I can ask, what class are you playing? It's always interesting to me to see what people gravitate towards when they first pick up Grim Dawn. In Of Alacrity, Heart of Theodore Marcel. That's actually really fantastic because that archetype tends to struggle with finding attack speed, and attack speed is so good. Obviously, Soldier's prefix is not exactly what you want to see, but the Of Alacrity suffix is going to carry that weapon. Necro Occultist. Pet build, me think? Lots of cool stuff you can do with Necro Occultist. Also, don't think I missed that beautiful slam poetry, Mykolas. Good night, wish list. You have a wonderful evening, my friend. I hope you dream that you are world famous. Actually, I don't know. Sometimes my best dreams are like about meeting weird animals that like tend to like me for some reason. I don't know what that's about, but like whenever I wake up having this feeling that I've really enjoyed my previous dream, it's because I've like, oh, I had this dream that I befriended a tiger. He just came up to me and he started loving on me, and it was awesome. Two Hearts of Theater, Marcel, is not a bad idea at all, just simply because of the bonus skills it gets you. It's obviously going to roll with plus Aether damage, flat Aether damage, physical damage converted to Aether damage, all of which are great stats for you, but you're also going to get more Reckless Power, which is great. Only thing that's really going to be wasted is the additional use of Flesh Warp Strikes. Oh, out of mana. Whoopsie daisy. I got... Robin, that build actually just got buffed in the recent patch. Namely, both Skeletons and Hellhounds got buffed. I haven't seen anyone play that build yet. Of course, the person to talk to would be Maya, M-A-Y-A, on the Grim Dawn forums. They are the premier Grim Dawn pet experts. But the numbers that I saw looked promising. I'm not a pet guy myself, but if I had to guess, I would say that the brand new Shepherd of Lost Souls that focuses on Skeletons and Hellhounds is definitely a contender now. Dream got Kira Knightley a day or two. Trying for that one again. Alright, I hope Kira Knightley shows up in your dreams. I hope you guys fucking raid a pirate ship together. Or what else has Kira Knightley been in? I hope you guys bend it like Beckham together. That's not a sex thing. I hope you guys play soccer. I hope you guys play soccer and enjoy each other's company. I can't think of any other Keira Knightley movies. No, it's those two. She was in Star Wars? Who was she in Star Wars? You're thinking of Natalie Portman, I think. Natalie Portman was Princess Amidala. Yeah, Grim Dawn is information dense. It took me like 3,000 hours in the game to consider myself an expert. Ooh, there's an entire slam poetry in chat. I'm an honest guy. I can't lie. When I die, I cry. Maybe I'm feeling weak, slow, less spry. But tomorrow I'll wake up again and try, because Grim Dawn is my favorite game. And I can't blame the devs for my shortcomings. It isn't becoming. The war drums once again are drumming. My heart is thrumming. I know I'm bumming, but soon Grim Dawn and I will again be chumming. We had the ups, we had the downs. We had a beautiful denouement where it seemed like you learned something, and I learned something in tandem with you. And I appreciate that. Oh, that's right. She had a body double in the first movie. Oh. I have found that a lot of smaller indie titles, like Grim Dawn, generally have a really connected and passionate community. But Grim Dawn is certainly the best I've been a part of. Was he? Oh my god, that beautiful man. It's so funny because whenever I talk about Wreck by Protoss, I either talk about falling in love with him or like hatching some sort of deep dark plot to destroy him. As a joke, probably. Some folks were BMing me? Aw. Hey, what's going on, Youthful? It's going well, man. We're honestly, this mod kind of trivializes everything, but it's I'm having a lot of fun. You know, Dargan, I gotta give the people what they want. And that's those are my spicy Ben Shapiro takes. What do we got? 3 points? Let's smack these out. That is like the most benign insult of all time. There's a chink in my armor. If I had to guess, the chink in my armor is that I care too much. That's what it is. That's what it must be. They were probably referring to how I've got too big of a heart. Do you play any throwback shooters? The ones that are basically love letters, old shooters like Quake or Doom. Proteus and Medieval are fantastic. I have not. Probably because I don't really have too much emotional connection with those older games. I of course played the Doom remix, which are incredible, obviously. But man, I gotta say, it's really heartwarming that Wrecked by Protoss would just be like, hey, stop talking about the chinks in armor on our honor. Okay, hold on a second. I will die defending the Black Parade. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. What kind of content are you thinking making since Grim Dawn is finished, basically? Unless, Grim Dawn is finished with their development. I'm not finished with the game, personally. I'm still having a lot of fun theory crafting builds and engaging with the community, so we're still going to be making Grim Dawn content for time to come. But, you know, there's going to be a period of slow transition. I would love to get into, like, maybe, like, humorous video game essays in the same style as H Bomber Guy. I think that'd be a fun direction to take my content into. But that's going to be a project for the future. Hey, Uncle, what's your favorite build to play? Okay. My go-to answer for this is generally the pure Chaos Void Soul Sentinel. The core of that build is all about just doing a ton of single target damage with your Doom Bolt Aegis Summon Here combo. And I love the feeling of that, being able to just evaporate powerful enemies in a few moments. But I mean, sometimes it changes day to day. I've been really enjoying the build I've been playing a lot of lately has been the pure Elemental Apostate, which has been a ton of fun. You dated men and women. I don't know where you. I don't know what I said to bring you to that conclusion. Oh, you're talking to somebody else. Just a favorite album of every woman I dated before my wife. There's a very good reason for that, Reginald. It's because that album is incredible. Not only does it connect personally for me from a time in my life where I was first getting into music in a major way back in my early high school days, but I mean, it holds up to this day. I go back and listen to the Black Parade regularly, and it holds up so well. It feels... Not the Aether Ray Relic. Black Holes and Revelations. While that one, it has a lot of nostalgia for me. I can't really fuck with Black Holes and Revelations all that much anymore. It's certain like Supermassive Black Hole is obviously fantastic, and There are a lot of like singularly great songs. Knights of Sidonia is another one that comes to mind. But I think the album as a whole just doesn't do it for me. Muse used to be cool, but now they suck. I honestly haven't I haven't fucked with Muse since the early 2010s. I don't know what they're up to now. I gotta ask, do you keep like a running tally of your top 50 albums, and does it change? Yeah, music discussion. That's an interesting hobby. That's You see, for me, I've got my nostalgia picks that I can't divorce myself from. I've got albums that I love that I can't tell you exactly why I love. It's not like they're great albums, but like for example, Blue by Third Eye Blind. I know that a lot of people will be like, "Wait, hold on a second. This is not very good," and I have to agree. I'm like, "Yeah, it's not that good," but I don't know why I love it. I can't help it. And like sometimes, like week to week, my music tastes change. I can't pin myself down. Otter, what's your favorite band slash music artist? I have a long held belief that the greatest modern artist currently producing music. We'll have to see, because this artist recently suffered a great tragedy. Is Frank Ocean. I love the music of Frank Ocean. I love the vibe of Frank Ocean. I think he's an excellent wordsmith. I think he makes incredible music for lonely boys. But I mean, like apart from that, it depends. Like I said, like sort of week to week. My favorite tune is Charles Gounod's version of Ave Maria on piano. I love that for you. That's such a weird phrase, but I love that for you. Yeah, Run the Jewels is such a consistent winner. Can't help it. Killer Mike's got a wonderful mind. Production is also incredible in those albums. And doesn't like hurt that they generally are not only like really socially conscious, but also like genuinely funny as well. And as much as I like Kendrick's music, I tend to like listen to Kendrick for a little while, and then just sort of stop listening. Oh dang! You saw Yo-Yo Ma, of course, who is most famous for his relation to Howie Mandel. My not only are my parents, but also my father-in-law is well, my fiance's whole side of her family are very much so into classical music. Her brother is like a classically trained musician. And so obviously, like, her father is a huge classical music buff. He loves string quartets and orchestras and things of that nature. But my mom used to do this thing where we would listen to what she called meditative music on the drive to school, and it would be a lot of string music. It'd be a lot of Yo-Yo Ma, stuff like that. You see, you felt I am of the same persuasion as you. I think Good Kid, Mad City is far and beyond the most musically interesting Kendrick Lamar album. But then people will clown on me and say that if you can't see why To Pimp a Butterfly is his best album, then you don't know music. And I'm like, well, I mean, it's subjective, right? Ah, man, I feel like I'm super pretentious when it comes to music. But I don't know. Good Kid, Mad City is the album of his that I can listen to the longest without getting sick of it. The multiplayer aspect of Grim Dawn is it leaves a lot to be desired. It's generally sometimes you if you can find a way to consistently connect with your friend and just sort of level and gear your characters together in that way, then it's totally fine. I've played lots of multiplayer with my friends and it's gone fine, but I've heard horror stories about people struggling to connect, people having sort of choppy multiplayer issues, stuff like that. So, I mean, it's hit or miss then. I haven't listened to Pimp a Butterfly in a hot minute either. Should we keep a lookout for a couple of decent Dermataran slicers while we're down here? Maybe we can transition into Pierce Nightblade sooner than I thought. I'd never heard of Motorcycle before. Gonna pass on that. I mean, probably. It sounds like we've got really similar taste in music. Except for the fact that you don't fuck with the Black Parade. That hurts. That really does hurt. That hurts in a way that I can't comprehend right now. I don't think I'm gonna feel the end of that scorching betrayal until I talk about it with my therapist. Ooh, Puncturing of Alacrity? Yeah, okay. I mean, if we are going to go this route, then this is the one we're going to use, right? Hold on, get yourself in the mood, put on some black makeup, start thinking about death and stuff. Do a little legwork first. Make sure that you find yourself in the right headspace. Although, to be fair, I think the Black Parade works no matter what headspace you're in. Ooh, what did I get? Nothing. I don't need that. I need Dermataran slicers, baby. That's what I'm all about. You're not banned from chat, Crab Turtle. You are banned from my heart. I should hope that also this heinous display of lapsed judgment from you should ever affect your position to either hold office or have a decent paying job for the rest of your life. It's their third studio album, but it's not like you need to have any pretense for it. It's just a theme album that's all about dealing with the emotions of you dying and other people dying. I mean, the only version of Ave Maria is the Ave Maria sung by one Garrett in season 5 of Community. What mod is it? It's a it's called Grim Dawn Monster Density V5. And this is the mod that's giving us this ludicrous move speed. Yeah, it's a wonderful cathartic album, I find. Is that sometimes you need to get bummed about stuff, you need to think about death for a little bit, and then you need to go, fuck it, let's live life to the fullest for a little bit. Would you really call My Chemical Romance punk pop though? Because like when I think of punk pop, especially when it comes to like the emo music of the 2000s and the 2010s, that's like Taking Back Sunday, Blink-182. But I mean, My Chemical Romance is more, man, I don't know how to describe what they are, other than emo. MCR was too smart to be labeled pop punk. All right, Crab Turtle, you're back in the club, baby. You're back in the club. You're not banned from my heart. You're right back in there. you get a nice shiny badge. You get a chair up front with the big boys. Yeah, I think they're somewhere in the rock punk rock. Maybe like, if we want to get simplistic about it, like heavy rock as well. I think this has to be like double movement speed. That's what it feels like, at least. Oh my. Physical damage. What's Bantle the Weeping Eye? Dreadnought foot pads. Then we throw a Mark the Traveler on there, wherever that may be. Where you at, Mark the Traveler? Do you think a first-person perspective mod would be possible? Yeah, that's some real curse shit right there. I love it. Reginald, exactly. You can't. I mean, if anything, the way to judge rumors is dreams. 100%. Yeah. I mean, I think without like seriously modding the game, well, I think the reason that this wouldn't work is because the map is built to be viewed from the top down. So the only way to make a first-person Grim Dawn would be to rebuild everything from scratch in meant to be used from that perspective. I think. I don't know nearly enough about modding or anything of that nature to say definitively one way or the other. We are so squish. Oh my god. You know, this is sort of what I'm my personal wish for the unannounced Grim Dawn project that they are going to announce in 2021. Is I really do hope that that there is some way to experience these eldritch horrors in a way that you're not super powerful, right? Because while on the surface, like the implication of this game is really scary. Whenever you read lore notes about what happens in the world, it's straight up horrifying. But all of that is taken out whenever you are viewing things from the perspective of this literal godlike figure. So I do think there's definitely some room to, I don't know, Dante. Is anybody else seeing having stream issues? Let me check my OBS real quick. I seem to be streaming at a decent bit rate. Ability-based FPS like Borderlands. Okay, if you can take sort of the skill progression of Borderlands with some of the feelings of like one of those first-person shooter Warhammer-like games, I could see that being pretty compelling, actually. Although, if anybody is, if you are somebody who loves the Borderlands universe, or not the Borderlands universe, but, oh, by the way, somebody was asking about Aetherray earlier. The Pulsing Shard. The Pulsing Shard is one of the best Aetherray items in the entire game because it gives Aetherray attack damage converted to health. So if you're trying to build around that. Surya, you say there's a game coming out shortly like that? Yeah, I'm talking about Vermintide. I've never played it, but I think from the feelings I got, that Vermintide sort of had, because I think, isn't that universe very much so like the same sort of like Victorian era type of universe like Grim Dawn? By the way, I'm totally scatterbrained. I was going to say something else. What's going on, Dr. Kilbrew? Dr. Kilbrew. I mean, oh, what's the name of the genre? I'm blanking on it right now, but I think that Warhammer and Grim Dawn share a similar genre. What are we doing? I guess we'll just do Kaimans. Oh, wait, they wouldn't even work with me. Dr. Kilbrew, excellent point. Somebody was talking about Borderlands-like gameplay. I believe it was Lord Parker. But if anyone really loves like the gunplay of Borderlands and the sort of looting and shooting aspect of Borderlands, but they prefer it in a roguelike package please check out Gunfire Reborn. It is so much fun. Dr. Kilbrew and I have played that game a little bit, and I love it. I think it's so much fun. Thank you so much, Why You Came. I appreciate you, I love you, and I hope you have a wonderful night. I, too, hope that you dream of Natalie Portman, if you want to dream of Natalie Portman. Or if you want to be like me and you want to dream about befriending wild animals, I hope you dream about that. Really, what I should say is I hope that you dream about the things that you want to dream about. It's kind of a hike to get there, but you know what? I stand by it. What is a... It's $10? Whoa. I mean, it has to, right? I think I should get... earlier, when I was doing Pine Barrens, I think I saw like 30 or 40 Manticore Venom Glands drop, so I'm pretty sure that the Chthonic Seal binding drop rate should be insane. I think the game is usually $19. But I do want to reiterate, if you like that type of gameplay, if you like roguelike games, if you like solid first-person shooter games, Gunfire Reborn is fantastic. So if that's not your jam, then this might be something you want to skip. But I highly recommend it, as somebody who's a fan of both those types of genres. Bah. 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 $250 on comics. What a Chad move. Sudri is also right. Risk of Rain 2. Risk of Rain 2. Risk of Rain 2. Risk of Rain 2 is not only one of the best first-person shooter games, roguelikes that I've played, it also has possibly the best soundtrack of any game I've ever played. Ugh. I could go on and on about Risk of Rain 2. Outriders is a 1 to 3 player co-op RPG shooter set in an original, dark, and desperate sci-fi universe. Outriders. Outriders. That sounds familiar. Outriders. Oof. You know what's funny? My computer has not struggled with Grim Dawn in a very long time. But now, now with the increased mob density, it's kind of chugging along, right? Oh yeah. I fuck real hard with Risk of Rain 2. Oh my god. I agree with you in principle, Lord Parker. There are some games that I make an exception for. Like, for example, I'm not going to pay $15 to play test your horribly optimized game. That's not a thing that I'm willing to do. Have I played Hades? Have I played Hades yet? I believe, man, I feel like I keep on escalating this with each new game that's mentioned. But this is the natural ending place, because I think that Hades is the most incredible game of all time. I think that Hades is arguably a better game than Grim Dawn, which I say with a crazy amount of trepidation, because I love Grim Dawn with all of my heart. But Hades, man. Hades is a goddamn masterpiece. It's so good. It's so silly, crazy good. I mean, Hollow Knight is awesome as well, obviously. When is Silksong coming out? That's got to be soon, right? It's true. They're very, very different games. But I just say, like, from a pure effort standpoint, I remember having this thought when I was playing Hades. Like, man, I've put nearly 200 hours in this game so far. I've beaten it multiple times. I've had like, I think at that point I had like 30 or 40 successful runs. And I still had never seen a repeated line of dialogue ever in the game. Every single line of dialogue was fresh after cycling through the game hundreds of times. After talking to every NPC multiple times, I'd never seen a repeated line of dialogue. How crazy is that? And not just that, the gameplay itself is wonderful. The art direction is incredible. The music is great. The character writing itself is stunning. It's so good. This is also a good time to mention that I am prone to hyperbole. I get very excited about things very easily. And then I'll just tell you they're the best thing ever without really thinking too much about it. I do believe everything that I say about Hades, but you should take everything I say with a grain of salt. Because I get jazzed about stuff. I get really jazzed about stuff, and I want to get it off my chest because there's like a pressure there. That's like, I get so excited that my heart like contracts a little bit, and I'm like, I gotta tell somebody about this right now. No, I think you're right. They have some absurd amount of dialogue. I watched the at least parts of the what's it called? Ooh, there's a little mini documentary series on YouTube about it that's really well done. That I recommend anyone who's a fan of Supergiant Studios or Hades in general to watch. I think it's done by No, I genuinely like this about myself, but I do feel like I need to give people some heads up. It's like I shouldn't be held accountable for my words because those words they may not be super genuine because I feel too strongly about stuff. Xanos, I have not yet returned to the Diablo 2 mod. But not only did I have a ton of fun with the Diablo 2 mod, but that was also like, it really seemed to get people very excited on the stream. So I do believe I'm going to go back to the Diablo 2 mod simply because the community engagement for that was so awesome. I met a lot of new people doing the Diablo 2 mod, and I really got to talk to people who just like had this huge nostalgic attachment to Diablo 2. And getting to play the game through their eyes was a huge treat. And I don't know if I can really recapture that feeling again, but I like to go back to it, simply because that mod is so well done. I had, I forget what the Monster Hunter was for the 3DS, but I played that one pretty much all the way through once. Until you get to start hunting the big boy dinosaurs. And I really like that. Oh yeah, Z, you were like, you were one of the guys for that. Oops. I remember it so plainly because it was such a cool experience. I've had a lot of cool experiences with this community and with streaming in general, but that one is going to stick with me for a very long time. There's definitely going to be a Diablo 2 remaster. I don't know, recently Blizzard put out like, it was like either a tweet or a post on Instagram where they had the Diablo 3 artwork next to the Diablo 2 artwork. And it was something like 2 is better than 1. But I mean, the implication to me seemed to be at least that they're moving forward with the Diablo 2 rework. Also, they'd be crazy not to do it. Although, I will say that I don't trust Blizzard anymore. I think their heart's in the wrong place, and I don't think that they are capable of making a great game for the sake of a great game anymore. Yeah, exactly, Lord Parker. There are fractions of Blizzard that I have a lot of love and respect for. I still think the Overwatch team is doing great stuff, even though I've since moved on from that game. No, definitely not getting my hopes up. I'm doing the opposite of getting my hopes up for anything Blizzard related, whether that's Diablo 4, a Diablo 2 remake, Diablo Immortal. Although I don't know who anyone who's excited about that game. Hold on. People that don't like Blizzard are only jealous of remasters of games like Warcraft 3, which were amazing. Oh, Dargon, you piece of shit. Yeah, I mean, I know this is a really common sentiment, but I was a part of that bandwagon that was over the moon excited about Diablo, or not Diablo, but Warcraft 3 Reforged. And as soon as they shit the bed on that one. Suji, I would expand that to all of Blizzard. I think all of Blizzard currently has excellent aesthetic designers, from music to art, to graphics, to anything. It's very evident in games like Hearthstone, which aren't too engaging anymore, but still look and feel fantastic. Lots of the World of Warcraft zones look incredible, even though I think World of Warcraft has... Well, I mean, actually, I've heard good things about Shadowlands so far, so I'll reserve judgment on that. But in total, Blizzard has really talented artists, and I actually think really talented designers as well. But all of that gets sort of held down by their very, very aggressive marketing team and their corporate overlords, which tend to either rush products or monetize products in such a shitty way that they won't be worth it anyway. I've got a little faith in Diablo 4. I think Diablo 4 is eventually going to be playable. Like Diablo 3. I still think Diablo 3 is a decent game. I equate Diablo 3 to ecstasy, the drug ecstasy. It's fun for a little bit. It's very fun for a little bit. And then it just gets super old super quick. That's fine. Diablo 4 is gonna probably come out as an online-only game with terrible services and probably some botched design philosophy. And then people are gonna go, wait a second, Blizzard, this is fucked, and we've told you this is fucked for a while. And then Blizzard's gonna go, you caught me. Our bad. At Blizzard, we care about your opinion, and we care about democracy in Hong Kong or whatever. And then eventually they're going to fix it a year and a half later. Exactly, the mechanics are amazing, but there's zero depth. You can't build a compelling character in Diablo 3. You can build what everyone else is building, and it can be strong, but that character is not your own, first of all. It's a cookie cutter of what everybody else has made. And there's exactly one way to build it. You see, I don't even get far enough to even care about bots in Diablo 3 because I will level a character to max disgustingly quickly. I will get all of my my best pieces of gear, and then I'll go, all right, good enough, and then I won't play Diablo 3 for months. Oh yeah. Any sort of marriage of Grim Dawn and Diablo 3 would be incredible. Honestly, there are other similar games that I feel like now rival Diablo for what I would say crunchy gameplay. Like I've seen what Wilson looks like and what Wilson's capable of. It seems like Wilson has really satisfying feeling gameplay as well. Also, to an extent, Path of Exile has really great looking gameplay, really sharp, really nice looking. Oops. Ah. Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at. No game gives you quite the same amount of granular build diversity that Grim Dawn gives you, and that is such a big thing. Not only is it fantastic for players who like to min max and build the most fantastic build they can possibly build, it's also fantastic for players like me who just like really love a good build fantasy. And I don't know, Grim Dawn delivers on that and on all fronts. Yeah, I think the while the idea of like competitive ARPGs, I get why people like it. I get why people like the clout and the competitive aspect of it. It's never appealed to me, and I don't love the feeling of having my or building characters for any other reason than I want to have fun with this character. I think that's for me sort of the biggest turnoff for games like Path of Exile. I really want to love Path of Exile. I try many times to love Path of Exile. But I always feel like there's this underlying pressure of like, you know, why aren't you competing? Why? I know it's silly because you're going to sort of ignore that aspect of the game and everything would be the exact same. But I don't know, I just can't shake it either. It's weird. Ooh. Storm Scion, what are you? Where are you at? Are you Dreadguard? No. Storm Scion? Storm Scion. 446 Spirit. Can't equip it just yet. No, it's I get that's not for everyone. Nor does it have to be. I am 100% aware that the fact that my personal hangups with Path of Exile exist within my head. I suppose I can do that, Crab Turtle. We wanna farm some rip clips. We can do that. Yeah, it's almost like the difference between a collaborative online community like Grim Dawn, where it's literally just like, guys, look at what I did with this weird ass build, and then everyone in the community is like, oh, this is cool. Look what I did with my weird ass build, and then you go, oh, that's cool, and you guys sort of help and build off each other like that. Like, oh, have you tried this item in this slot? I haven't, but have you tried this item in this slot? And you can sort of build and build and build like that. With Path of Exile, I feel like, I don't know. like that dynamic sort of shifts a little bit whenever you bring the competitive aspect to the forefront. You know, fair enough, Reginald. Sometimes you just need to listen to something poppy and happy. For me personally, whenever I'm feeling like super down about something, I feel like the only way that I can really get through that is by getting through it. So I generally need to just feel very sad for a while and then sort of rocket myself to the other side of that feeling, you know what I mean? And that's where the catharsis of that album comes in for me. But yeah, it's a heavy album. I think they... I mean, a lot of people just remember that album for, you know, being Black Parade and what have you, but there's a strong narrative there that's very easy to connect with as well. Oh, I'm... There are very, very small parts of the Grim Dawn community that are not spectacular. And it tends to be just like one or two people who are just like very, very particular and very specific. Who will just like sort of aggressively poo-poo on a build if it doesn't meet exactly certain specifications. Or like, if you make one suboptimal choice in your gear or your devotions, they'll just sort of like laugh you out of the room. But that is such a small marginal part of the community that's barely even worth talking about. What's the best way to get involved with the Grim Dawn community? Forums, guilds, discords? The forums are very much so... they're very active, but it's also where like the sort of old guard of Grim Dawn rubs elbows. That's where you see a lot of the people who've been building builds for ever and ever go. And they're a lot of like really nice people. Oops, blueprint. In that community. But I think the best way to connect with the casual Grim Dawn community, if you're sort of just looking to dip your toe in and meet people who are knowledgeable but also accessible, I think Discord is a great way to go for that. I met a lot of great people in the Grim Dawn Discord, just in the build section of there. Also, if I may, if I can plug my own Discord, you can join the unofficial Armored Otter Discord. We got over 100 members at this point, and while it's not the best place for purely Grim Dawn info, it's definitely like we're easygoing. We like to have fun. It's weird to me that there's a community still doing things with Neverwinter Nights. Don't you know, Dante? You already joined the artificial Discord. We never let you into the real Discord. You're not elite enough. You know, interestingly enough, Reginald, I would say that that Charlie XTX album, How I'm Feeling Now, gives me a similar feeling of ennui without all the dread, you know? Which is great. There's definitely like the vibe of that album is very much so like, you know, I'm feeling depressed and bored right now. It's okay if you are too. Ooh. You know, I've been trying to clown around with converting things from different elements to physical, because it turns out that when you do that, your damage types ignore armor, which I think is fun. Wrathbringer, no. We are crazy squishy. For being level 46, we are very, very squishy. I think at this point, generally, people have already invested into the other mastery. And we are not doing that. Yeah, Fizz Aether Ray is like the strongest example of that. But I was thinking about maybe messing around with pure physical Drain Essence. I don't know how to do that very well, but I think if there is a build out there, it has the possibility to be pretty strong. You're already going to be tanky by nature of picking classes that deal well with plus physical damage, like Soldier. I know there's a belt that can convert 100% of vitality damage to physical damage. People have said that Crucible is by far the best way to farm legendaries. Yeah, it's either Crucible or High Shattered Realms, but Crucible is generally my go-to. Oh, Seals of Might. Yeah, okay, so Seal of Might does 25%. So if you are doing Board and Sword, then you get 50% right there. Is there anything else that does Aether to physical? Yeah. That is exactly how that works. Any Crucible is just sort of like, people have said it's sort of like Grim Dawn Tower Defense. It's pretty much that. You go in, you are in an arena, and you have to fight wave with a wave of monsters, and you can sort of spend specific Crucible bucks for either short-term power-ups or little towers that will persist for a while. Ooh, Fleshwort Pauldrons. It's a bit of a bummer because generally shoulders are set items, although I don't know what set you'd want to go with physical Drain Essence, so... Immaterial Edge. Aether damage. Yeah, I was thinking that maybe you could get by with the whatchamacallit, the Shattered Keeper set. That's sort of the set for people who don't have sets. And also that the 2 points would be really, really good. Especially since you're not going to have a whole lot of... what do we need for you? If we go... Scholar's Light? Hold on. We need, what, 16 green? 18 green. And we have 7 right now. So Spider would get us to 13. We could do Scholar, we can do Spider and Raven. That's not terrible. We could obviously go Toad. Toad is not terrible because we're going to need more purple later down the line. Dreadlords of Alacrity Amulet? That's insane, actually. Dreadlords is a fantastic prefix. I think it has attack damage converted to health, right? Yeah, that's a nuts. A nutty pickup. That's insane. What are we doing with our Devotions gang? Because we obviously want to get Blind Sage and a Toxaru. So with the Dreadlords, or not the Dreadlords shoulders, the Fleshwort Pauldrons, and the 2 seals. Hold on, gang. I want to look at this item real quick. Let's see here. Fleshwort Pauldrons. Up to 36% Aether converted to physical damage. Okay, so 50 plus 36. You pretty much get there. You don't need to necessarily do a third. I mean, it would be nice if you did a third, but you don't have to. Okay, so if we did Toad and Spider, we can get Blind Sage, right? And then we'd only be 3 purple away from a Toxaru, huh? Or we just do Wolverine. Okay, Wolverine would be... That'd get us the perfect amount of purple. We could do Wolverine, Scholar's Light, Raven. I think that's probably the best bet, right? Oh, but then there's O'Kane's Lantern. Ooh, O'Kane's Lantern is good. But we don't necessarily need the gold devotion from O'Kane's, do we? I mean, I'm still not sure what our end game goals with this build is. So we'll figure it out as we go. Hold on, we had one crossroads. What was the crossroad that we had? Purple. Oh, that changes things a little. Oh, whoops. Hey. Honestly, I slept in the Korvac Devotion for a very long time. But the first time I tried the Korvac Devotion, I was sold. I love Korvac. Yeah, probably. Spider makes sense for a good number of reasons. So we can do Spider and Toad. The attack damage compared to health is not bad either. Oh yeah, Spider gives you a lot of cool benefits. Man, I forgot that Seal of Might gave you Aether physical. Okay. So what weapon would you use with that build? There is the shield that adds retaliation damage to drain essence. Weird question. I feel like I should know this, but does anybody know how retaliation works with damage conversion? Like, if I had 100 vitality, it's converted fully? Okay, perfect. I don't think that would really come into play, but it's interesting to think about. I mean, this might be losing the plot a little bit, but you could always go for Baranath Reforged. Tell me if this is insane. You can go for Baranath Reforged, and then you can pick up things like Messenger of War, as well as other retaliation damage, and get that MI shield that adds retaliation damage as flat damage to drain essence. Again, I'm not sure if I'm losing the plot here, but Baranath Reforged got nerfed heavily for retail. Ah, yeah, the old retail gut of all 1190. I'm actually working on a Drain Essence Hybrid Retail plus max Drain Essence spell nodes. Ooh. I'll definitely post that, Grim Tools. I'd be interested in looking at that after stream. Although I'm a little bummed that it's going to be your idea, not my idea. But you know what? I mean, I think Oppressor was the go-to for retail Drain Essence. Oh my god. It has been one. We started quarantine officially in like early March. Wow. That's actually insane. Man. That is hurting my head to think about a little bit. I can't believe we've been dealing with coronavirus for a full year at this point. That's nuts. The reason that most people will say to choose Kaiman is because they have a very decent resist armor augment. I think it's Vitality Chaos, which tend to be two of the harder to get resistances. That's the only reason people say choose Kaiman. Generally, the Kaiman's chosen armor augments are a bit more useful than the Death Vigil's one. You know, I'm almost coming up on the 1 year anniversary of my Armored Otter channel. Or of the revitalization of my Armored Otter channel into Grim Dawn content. Tower books, do not feel discouraged. This game is a lot of information, and none of it is super well explained either. Most people don't really get to understand this game until like hundreds of hours of it in. So if you have questions about the game towers, feel free to ask it here or anywhere. And we'll be happy to answer any questions you might have. I mean, at least in the Forgotten Gods, it's like you're not really choosing one that's more evil than the other. They're all just sort of equally evil. What's the Goliath segment? Physical damage? Physical damage, attack speed. Earthquake. Okay. Yeah, they all just kind of equally want to fuck you over. I got 260 plus hours, and I reckon my main concern is not having a rule of thumb way of knowing whether to invest in physique, cunning, or spirit. All right, this is something that I actually came under fire for recently. Because somebody was telling me that my simple explanation of this was sort of stifling innovation within the community, which is a fair assessment. But, and I'm going to repeat the exact same thing that got me in trouble. Generally, when you're allocating attributes, what you want to do is have just enough spirit to equip endgame rings, which is typically around high 300s to mid 400s. If you're using a ranged weapon, or a cunning weapon like a sword, you typically want enough cunning to equip that sword, and then everything else goes in physique. That's the baseline. That is very far from a hard and fast rule. The reason that physique is generally thought to be the strong investment is because it gives you the most defensive ability. All spirit, cunning, and physique will all give you baseline health. Physique will give you 2.5 health per physique, while cunning and spirit will only give you 1. Cunning gives you more offensive ability, as well as physical damage, pierce damage, and duration damage to things like bleed and internal trauma. And spirit, the same way, gives you 1 bonus health, also gives you a bit more extra energy and energy regen, as well as magical damage, elemental damage, vitality damage, aether damage, chaos damage, and all of those damages over time. So, the question is, when do I know when to not invest in the physique? If you are using a build that has generally a very, very healthy amount of both health and defensive ability, and you're finding you very, very much so lack in offensive ability and you can't reliably hit or crit, that's sort of when you want to say, okay, maybe I want to do a 50-50 split between physique and cunning. Similarly for spirit, if you are using a magic-based build and you've got a build that either what's it called? Spellbinder? That doesn't have much use for defensive ability, since you are mitigating so much damage already. You can do a heavy investment into spirit and sort of ignore physique and cunning. But I will still say, I remain by my original stance that in general, what you want to do is really heavily focus on physique, especially if you're still trying to figure out the game. Physique is the way to go. But that's just sort of my need to oversimplify things. Your best bet is to really make those decisions on the fly, using your own intuition based around what the points do. Do I need more of this stat? Cool, let me get it. Wait, what am I supposed to be doing right now? I never found the captured farmers in the Blood Grove. Whoops. This man just makes legendary stuff. I assume you're talking about the smith in Tyrant's Hold? That you just turn in materials for legendary items? That's because it's also a crapshoot, is the real reason. First of all, in general, those materials tend to be a bit more valuable than the actual items themselves. And the second reason is that, you know, it's all random stuff, so why not just get random gear randomly, then get random gear randomly? No, that doesn't make sense. You know what I mean, though, right? I only finished the game with a warder and sunk all the physique, so does that mean when I start missing hits that assign more cunning is needed? Generally, yeah. Warder is actually a great example of a build that tends to run very, very heavy, gets a very, very beefy amount of defensive ability, but tends to have difficulty scaling up their offensive ability. So unless you're running like Savagery, generally Savagery doesn't have that problem. Man, this is getting complex. But in general, yeah, if you go toe-to-toe with a bad guy and you're like, man, it felt like I was swinging at him and I wasn't doing any damage. If you die or if you get a chance to back away from that fight, go into your character window and then hover over offensive ability and look at your chance to hit and crit. And then assist from there. Like, generally, if you're at the end game, you generally want like 15 or 20% chance to crit with a 100% chance to hit. This is true. This is true, Reginald. But even a good green or blue sword is generally better than a legendary sword that does not work for your build. Yeah, Gage is exactly right. Overcapping field command Fighting Spirit is an interesting choice. Fighting Spirit does give you a ton of on-the-fly OA, but it's only going to be available for you half the time. With that being said, I don't disagree, though. Fighting Spirit can be very, very strong, especially with the new buffs. Any tips for dealing with loot? I feel like I'm hoarding way too much. Yeah, here's my suggestion. Download a secondary mod that gives you more loot space. Grim Dawn has a ton of loot. It's hard to know on the fly without a ton of experience what is good and what is bad. It's just going to come with experience, but generally the joy of this game comes from getting a bunch of loot, starting a new character and using that loot, and repeating that cycle again and again and again. I would in general only hoard on to... So another thing I would suggest is pick up the, what's it called? The Grim Dawn rainbow filter, rainbow loot filter. And what that'll do is it'll let you know whenever a rare item drops with 2 rare prefixes and suffixes. Then I would hold on to those, especially if those are 2 rare prefixes and suffixes that work well with each other. Apart from that, just hold on to purple gear, because purple gear is going to be 90% of what your endgame gear looks like. In general, this is also, I do this a lot, even though I've been making Grim Dawn builds for a very long time. I still look at other people's builds and go, okay, what choices they make for their components, for their augments, for their specific gear slots. Especially if I'm struggling with something, they will have thought of like a really cool gear slot for like boots or belt or something that never occurred to me. I'm like, whoa, that's crazy and creative. So if you're struggling with like how to orient your build, definitely just look at people who know better. I already slew Karaz. I did. I remember doing this. Oh, game. Why? Why are you like this? Well, at least we run really fast. That's always nice. At least we don't have to move really slow. Dargan, that is essentially right. I have no idea why anybody takes me seriously or anybody watches me at all. Frankly, I think it's a mistake. If I were you, I would find a different, better, bigger stream with more energy and less self-esteem issues. And I would do that soon, too. I think eventually my stink and my poor attitude, it's going to rub off on you. And then who are you going to blame? You got no one to blame. Eventually, you're going to look at your life and you're going to go, what have I done? This is not my beautiful wife. This is not my beautiful home. Or something. Maybe somebody with more fig trees. That's how I generally measure the success of a person. For example, my personal hero, Phil Spector, when he was alive, lots of fig trees. Dude was flush with fig trees. You caught the reference to Phil's... Oh my god! My beautiful computer can't handle all the voice on screen. Oh no. Oh boy. Oh beans. Oh beans. Oh beans. Aw, I miss Reckful too. I used to watch Reckful a lot during my during the Halcyon days of Hearthstone. Oh boy, Reckful. Fuck. Man. Sometimes I forget about Reckful. Yeah, man, you can always tell that Reckful's heart was always in the right place. Just something that you can't say for, I think, a lot of personalities on YouTube. For example, me. I think that most people who just tune in for a brief moment to any of my YouTube videos or streams can tell that I'm in it for the cheddar, baby. I'm in it for the cheese, the goat cheese. I wanna harvest that goat cheese. If I could take and sell your personal information for profit, I would. That's the kind of man I am. That was not Reckful though. Reckful was sincere through and through, which is wonderful to see. I'm in it for the money. That's why I'm playing frickin' Grim Dawn, brother. The most successful Twitch streaming game of this century. I mean, honestly, what I'd like to be doing right about now, I like to be playing, indie games like Minecraft or Pokemon Silver. I can't be doing that. No one would watch that. No one's even heard of Minecraft in the NA. So I'm stuck with this shitty community, with this terrible game. Thanks for the follow, my guy. Oh, another Praetorian. Did I pick up the other Praetorian piece? I did not, because I am bad. I'm bad at the game, and I'm bad at life. You know, that person in Wreck by Protoss's chat who was talking about my armor and how it has some imperfections, let's say. He was right. He was right the whole time. Wreck by Protoss was a fool to have defended me. Honestly, I firmly believe that all children growing up should either have to play with like Legos, Minecraft, Connects, something like that, to engage the part of their brain where they need to make the connection between space and design. I think that's such a helpful tool for anyone who's trying to what am I thinking of? Learn about spatial reasoning. Prismatic Eviscerator. No. That's exactly, they're digital Tinker Toys, 100%. I think anybody who's like, who's trying to have some sort of career in like design or something like that, just fuck around with Minecraft for a little bit. It's such a great tool for stretching your mind in an interesting way. Who is Magnuson? And maybe should I return his trench coat to him? What's in here? Oh, it's a chest. Mighty assault helm of the Flesh Hulk. Gage, I give you my blessing. I know that with the hallowed blessing of your dear Uncle Otter, you're gonna get that medal. And if you didn't, it's because you didn't believe hard enough. It's not my fault. Take it easy, my man. We were having this this wonderful conversation earlier about emotional catharsis. Maybe tonight's the night that you let yourself be sad, follow those emotions all the way through, and fucking feel it. It's such a powerful thing. Have a good one. Take it easy, brother. Sometimes I catch myself talking like a cult leader, and I'm like, wait a second. Wait a second. Don't talk like a cult leader. Sometimes I wish I could just, like, speak like a normal human being. Quick question, if I may. In your experience, what is the best build to use the Ugall devotion node? Let's look at it for a second, shall we, Son of Magnus? Because I love all things Ugall. I think Ugall is incredibly cool. But the Ugall devotion has a lot of cool things about it. So first of all, let's look at the devotion proc itself, though. Fuck off, guys. I'm explaining something to chat, the Twitch chat. Okay, right here. The devotion, it gives you a very, very powerful tool, which is reduce target's damage dealt. And it will reduce that target's damage dealt for as long as they're standing in the pool, and a ton of those pools spawn all over the place. Apart from that, it does primarily cold damage, with half of that being acid damage. The rest you can sort of ignore. So, what does that mean? You can't stack this stat. You can't reduce target's damage down below a certain threshold. The game is always going to choose the highest version of the stat and use that. So for example, I've got a maxed out Aura of Sensor. This will reduce target's damage by 15. So Ugall will not work so well for this build simply because I've already got the stat in spades. Notably though, Nightblade does not have any reduced target damage dealt. Also, Nightblade typically will do most of their damage by smacking things with sharp, pointy things. And Ugall has this right here, a node that gives you flat cold damage, flat acid damage, and 6% attack damage converted to health. 6% is a huge number for this stat in particular. This right here is a very, very strong node. Apart from that, it's just got generally good stuff. Acid and offensive ability, cold and offensive ability. So the answer is, if you are a cold or acid auto-attacking build that needs a source of reduced target's damage dealt, go for Ugall. And Ugall is going to be very, very strong for you. Typically builds that have this would be like Necromancer, has it in two forms actually, but the most notable is like Ill Omen. Soldier has it in their Warcry node. And I think the only other one that has it is Inquisitor with Aura of Sensor. Is there any other source of reduced target's damage dealt? I'm not sure if there is. Hey, what's going on, Tep? Tepperson? Tep's actually a great person to ask, because Tep has a lot of knowledge. Nullification for Ellie. Oh, Horn of Gondar. That's right, yeah. Horn of Gondar is also another one. Nullification has reduced damage dealt? Huh. Yeah. Ravenous Earth and Ill Omen are Necromancer. We're trying to figure out the sources of reduced target's damage dealt. We're trying to figure out the edge cases where Ugall is a good pick. So in order to logic that backwards, we're sort of figuring out, A, what builds use a lot of flat, cold, and acid damage and attack damage converted to health, i.e. Nightblade builds. And which of those Nightblade builds tend to use, or tend to not have access to reduced target damage dealt. Oh, I use it for my DE span Warlock. Interesting. Demo, yeah, Demo gets it in both Vindictive Flame and Cocktail. But typically you're going to use Blackwater Cocktail for the flat resist reduction. But it's also notable that, I mean, Ugall itself actually supplies pretty decent AoE damage over time. You don't have to bind it to an attack. I mean, technically you're right that Hellhound has it, but I would say that Hellhound is sort of discounted from this conversation because you're typically never going to build both Ugall and Hellhound ever. But another thing to note is that if you have Ugall, then you don't need to invest points into an ability that reduces target damage dealt, which is interesting, but not super useful. That's not a great source. I think it scales up to like 16% at the end. And things like Warcry can very easily get you like 33%. Ill Omen at 10 out of 10 points gets you 25%. So if you're doing like a cold Trickster, that's going to be a decent use of Ugall. If you are doing a maybe some sort of acid-based Witch Hunter, that's going to be a decent edge case use for Ugall as well. What did I get? Hey, elemental damage. Although, doesn't give me a lot of the good stuff that I want. Another Sky Fragment, though. We love the procs. You gotta love the procs.
I heard you're here. Good. With the cult.
We got so many points. You can also just take the Ugall nodes without taking the proc. That's very true. I mean, 6% attack damage compared to health with cold, with flat cold and flat acid damage is going to be pretty strong. Melee cold saboteurs probably, since it's pretty short in skill points. Interesting. So you're saying that you can just straight up ignore Blackwater Cocktail? Not a bad idea. Let's go ahead. Let's pick up our Nightblade. Let's get weird with it, shall we? I honestly don't know what I'm going to do with these points right away. Should I just go into like pneumatic burst or something? Get more move speed? I'm so fast. All right, let's keep moving, boys. No rest for the wicked. That's me. I am Jeremy Wicked.
That skill's not real. I'll give you a good price on what I've got left.
What am I doing?
Good. You've arrived. Precisely.
I can't do that yet.
Yeah, man, absolutely. It's interesting to think about these types of things. Sort of scratch the old noggin a little bit. Figure out what works where and why. All right, Teps. I love you, Teppy. Tepperson, I love you. Yeah. What level SR does the helmet start being buyable from the vendor? I believe 65 on Ultimate. Yeah, it's a pretty steep requirement, to be sure. I mean, the new Crucible is rough. It's rough McGruff the Crime Dog, 100%. I was talking to people who just do almost nothing but Shattered Realms, who would like regularly clear up to 90 on their builds, and are now struggling getting up to 75. Ooh, Arcanum Sigil. Okay. Sure. Why does everybody leave me? Thank you, Dargan. I put those main buffs on my main bar to spite you. But, you know, in a roundabout way. Isn't it kind of nice that I was thinking about you? Can't deny it. Man, I'm having so much fun with my speedy boy powers. I believe that the Bale model was phase 2 of Theodore Marcel. Because he's like a bit more spidery. That Theodore Marcel, he's one spidery fuck. If you catch my drift.
Good work down the weekend.
I recover. Wait, hold on. I thought I already did cover the splice. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Hey, take it easy, Robin. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for hanging out. Hope to see you real soon. If you haven't, I know you're asking about the best way to get into contact with other people of the Grim Dawn community. Please do consider joining the Discord. We got a lot of great people on there who are willing to answer questions about your build at any time. We do this for fun. We're big mouth breathers. Oh, Crab Turtle, that's not an emissary. That's a roll of green fiber. Those two things are completely different. Son of Magnus, thanks so much for your Prime subscription, buddy. I appreciate that. I'm gonna take those Jeff Bezos bucks, and I'm gonna turn them in for cream cheese or something. But thank you so much. Could somebody on the Twitch side press? Actually, hold on, I can do it. Oh my God! Prime subscriptions, they are raining down. I thank you guys so much, you beautiful, beautiful people. Give me 1 second. This is the Discord link. You can go ahead and join that. I'm running this fast because I trained. I trained in sprints. I did lunges. I was in track in high school, and now I modded my speed up. It is it is the Grim Dawn Mob Density V5 mod. What this does is apparently makes you move faster than Sonic the Hedgehog, and also increases mob spawn density. So this is where we're at. Yeah. Honestly, this is like the worst area for this mod. This is we're gonna get cocky. We're gonna run into like 1,000 landmines all in a row, and then Dargan's gonna say some rude things to us, and we're gonna deserve it. Oh my God. I'm struggling, you guys. Why are these guys taking so long to die? Huh. I'm new to Grim Dawn, Dargan. Do you want to take me by the hand and explain game mechanics? Amazing. Oh no. Huh. No. No. Now things are getting a little risque. Oh, I'm not sure if he is still there, but Margrave is building a Nightblade Inquisitor. But I think Margrave. Hi, I just bought Vanilla Grim Dawn today. Is it worth it to buy the expansions? Musgrave, it is. Reginald Musgrave. There's a character in my my D&D campaign called Margrave, and I must got the two confused. Yes, he is. He's playing an infiltrator. You just bought Vanilla Grim Dawn today. Is it worth it to buy the expansions? I think absolutely. If you're tight on cash, they go on sale regularly. If you're a big fan of the game, they add a lot. You got me good. You got me good. And you know what? I don't think I'll ever be the same ever again. I wish I could return to a world before I was trolled so hard. Sadly, I cannot. And because of this, I will remain a changed man, bitter to the world. What is my Aether resistance? Oh, we're capped Aether resistance. Why are we taking so much damage? You know, I had espresso for like the first time in a couple years. I used to work at a coffee shop, and I had to pretend to like espresso because I don't know. I thought that like cool kids liked espresso. So I would drink the espresso that they would give to me at the coffee shop, and I go, even though secretly on the inside I would hate it because it tasted bitter, and I like sweet things. First of all, if Michaelis does drink coffee in the shower, that means he's a genius, and not only that, a very stable one. Coffee plus shower is a winning combination. There's something about the warm water in the in your shower that just makes things taste better. I don't know why. I recommend getting in the shower with a hot cup of coffee, sitting down, thinking about where you went wrong in your life, closing your eyes for a very long time, and just drinking that coffee, drinking deep of your own despair. It's amazing. What am I doing? Devosh? That sounds intellectual as fuck. You simply have to love it. I worked at Walmart and had to pretend to like the characters that came in. I had to pretend to like the characters that... Oh, like they had to pretend to like the people who walked into Walmart. Oh. I was like, what does Walmart to do with the game League of Legends? I do like Philosophy Tube quite a bit. I'm more of a ContraPoints guy, but Philosophy Tube will do in a pinch. Yeah, no, Natalie fucking slaps. There are many things that I am unsure about in life, but that is one thing that I'm very clear on. That Natalie Wynn fucking slaps. One time a red-faced gentleman came into the bar. After a while, he threw a $5 bill at me and said something along the line of, "Here, fat ass. I'm 6'2" and weigh 190. What the fuck? Oh yeah, I had to pretend to like no, I get the link now, but I was, for some reason, you said LOL in the middle of your sentence, and I was like, real time decoding that as League of Legends, and I will never, I don't know why my brain did that. I don't even play that much. I don't play League of Legends anymore. I haven't played League of Legends in a full half decade, but still I see LOL and I'm like, oh yeah, that means the one thing and nothing else. I mean, that's a pretty strange one. But at the end of the day, you are $5 richer. So, you know, that's a win. That's a Natalie win if you catch my drift. That's like the understatement of the century. Oh boy. I remember going to the bar as like... So let me set the scene. Imagine 1 decade ago, Armored Otter was merely in his young 20s. At the state of my life, I think that when you go to a dingy dive bar with your friends, you put on a tight button-down shirt with a vest and you do your hair up real nice, and you peacock a little bit and you attempt to attract the ladies. That's what I thought you did. So I go to this bar. In my mind, I'm thinking, I'm just the nines. This is going to be a good night. But I'm also a 20-year-old guy who has almost no world experience, no perspective outside of my own, who has a very fragile sense of masculinity. So I walk into the bar, not 20 minutes goes by, and this very drunk guy hangs on my shoulder, and he like he smells of like hard liquor. He's super drunk, and he just like slurs in my face. He says "Hey, F word," the derogatory word for a gay gentleman. Do you see any gay gentlemen in this club you like? We're gonna get you fucking laid tonight. And I was devastated. I was reeling from that experience. As somebody who is just, again, my sense of sense and masculinity was very fragile, and that just dashed it to bits at that moment. I mean, now that I'm somebody who's very comfortable with who I am and my sexuality and the world around me and blah 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 blah, I think I would have found it like shockingly funny if that happened to me now. But at the time, I was so heartbroken. That's the only thing I could think of. Like, and I know this is like a shitty thing to think. Obviously, I don't think this now. But at the time, I was like, oh no, people think I'm gay. This is terrible. I did not get laid. I went and I got myself some fast food, and then I watched I rewatched Community on my laptop. And I think I had a night to myself. You and I are the only cool gay guys for miles around. Oh, if I could go back in time, put my own consciousness in a 20-year-old me's body, fuck, I would say that. Appreciate the follow, you beautiful, beautiful human being. I was working Christmas Eve at Walmart to find a homeless woman high on bath salts, just sprawled nude on my boss's car. Oh, fuck. My boss is in a Santa outfit and was yelling at her in front of the children. Oh my god. Man, I wish I had those experiences. This sounds like something that maketh the man, you know what I mean? That the essence of life. What a beautiful, beautiful thing. Oh, shit. Do you remember the brief moment in history when there was like a small subsect of people who thought legitimately the zombie apocalypse was happening because people were getting high off of bath salts and they were like committing acts of cannibalism? You worked for the mob? What the fuck? Yeah, I don't imagine. Did the mob have a like at least a decent 401k plan for you? Did they give you health care? She yelled, "Stop humping my car," and the lady with her pants at her ankles yelled, "Fuck you, Santa," and waddled away. Pants still at her ankles. Oh my god. Oh, it's the most perfect story that I've ever heard, honestly. Holy shit. Ugh. You would think, like, I don't know, in my head I'm like, alright, I'm working for the mob, at least I don't get paid $7.25 an hour. Because they've got mob money. Of course they wouldn't pay me $7.25 an hour. Apparently not. Oh, fuck you with your living minimum wage. You beautiful Canadian pieces of shit. Yeah, there's something about the demographic that overlap with laying naked on the car and doing bath salts that don't really strike me as the type to care too much about their personal appearance. Jeez Louise. The Canadian mob, huh? There's a really stupid obvious joke about like polite Canadian moms. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna cut off your toes, eh?" Oh. Okay, never mind. You don't get a living minimum wage. $14 Canadian is like 18 US dollars. Okay, never mind. I welcome you back into the fold, my Canadian brother in arms. Global suffering, what have you. I mean, either way, it's definitely not a living minimum wage. Them's is still starvation wages, boy. Them's is still starvation wages, for sure. Boy. What a weird stream we've had tonight. I had no idea we had such a huge diversity of lived experiences in this community. I've had a lot of fun. And sometimes you just like randomly stumble upon those conversational gold mines, and you just never want to walk away, right? We had Hindu, yeah, we did. We talked about Hinduism on Monday. That was fun too. I used to work for a piece of shit that wouldn't give overtime. Ugh. Fucking. If I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. If you can't afford to give your employees basic human dignities like a decent oh my god, schedule, yeah, if a decent schedule, living wage, and overtime, you shouldn't have employees. You shouldn't have them. No, we don't we don't talk about the K-man in here. Not in front of not in front of not in front of mixed company, shall we say. I'm kidding, of course, but Karl Marx is essentially the bogeyman in certain circles. There's just such a visceral response to Karl. We tend to stay away from politics as much as possible. I'm more than happy to discuss. I'm very politically active in my personal life. I am more than happy to discuss my political beliefs with anybody on the Discord. But you know, when we're streaming, we are politically neutral until we aren't, and we're accidentally not politically neutral a lot. Good centrist vibes. That's exactly right. It's like I said yesterday. That thing that you're for, I'm for it. And those people that you hate, I hate them so much. But yeah, I've got. I know Dr. Kilbrew and we discuss politics all the time. We have chats. We talk about what we think is wrong with the world. We commiserate. I'm happy to do that off stream hours, but when we streaming, we have no opinions. We simply are. We're a human being who exists inside of a box. Ooh, lightning tether. We use that. Ooh, it looks nice too. Sometimes you have to be like my personal hero, Lois Griffin from Family Guy, my favorite animated television program of all time. And you know, the take is 9/11 was bad. And freedom? Well, I think that's just a little bit better. I think, honestly, there are so many places that you can go to get your brand of political takes on the internet. There are a lot of intelligent people who are saying the things that you like to hear. You can go and seek them out. I'm not smart enough to have takes of my own, and you guys don't want to hear that shit. I'm barely half informed. I know some things about some things, and I know a whole lot of nothing about other things. Essentially, I treat you guys like my grandma. We don't... I love my grandma so goddamn much, but I'm not going to speak to her about politics. It's just something we do not do. Ooh. Get him. Get him. Get him, Ulgrim. Take him out. You know what else, the other build I was thinking of? Ulgrim reminded me. But I was also thinking about doing like pure piercing phantasmal blades. With that new MI. Charlie Kelly, thanks for the subscription, my guy. Thanks for giving me those Jeff Bezos bucks, you beautiful, beautiful man. As long as you're here, you're never going to do Charlie work. I think that's a political view we can all get behind. Is that Ulgrim? He's a handsome guy doing less than handsome things. Ooh, way to go, Ulgrim. Way to be above the line. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed that that the 10 times mobs thing doesn't translate to certain boss battles. I mean, how fantastic would it be to have to dodge out of the way of 10 times Logarian fucking vitality bolts? Oh yeah, it's whoever now. I forget his name. Jean Laporte or something. But yeah, Jeff Bezos. He's doing something else. But you know, I'm just gonna keep on calling him Bezos Bucks if it's okay with you. It's the personal dark and flavor that I've come to love. You know what? I do support, and call me crazy, but I do support a full-on Armored Daughter stream sponsored fight club where you guys just like punch each other and you can like fight for my honor. That sounds kind of cool. That sounds kind of chill. Fight Club is almost as good as Fight Club fans aren't. Yeah, Fight Club. It's like Rick and Morty. It just sort of it got conflated with its terrible fan base with their hot takes and their what did I get? The guillotine. It's a cool weapon. But yeah, there are certain like fan bases that are just like, I don't know, filled to the brim with people who miss the point. All right, we can. I mean, there's only 2 cutscenes in the entire game, but sure. Arun Vital. Arun Vital, ik leeuw soleil, ik mee bismail.
Arum Vital. Arum Vital.
Loud.
Lo ith soleil. Lo ith bismil. Monum ulgrum thon colo ut crane. This is too dangerous.
Honestly,
Need to find another way.
The rift gate! Something's coming through!
Ulgrim is
Inquisitor Creed. Devil's Crossing was attacked.
Creed
Take it easy,
is
John.
possibly
What's happened?
the
Some
only
new kind
good
of
voice
Ethereum.
actor.
Just smashed right through our defenses.
Actually, John
We need
Berman's not bad,
reinforcements. We're in bad shape.
but he's not great.
I'll
Although
send
Creed
help,
is
but I
really good.
can't spare much. We're equally pressed here. Loss of Ulgrim to the Void may be more serious than you realize.
Ulgrim is dead, Creed. You must know that. My people need help now. We won't survive another attack.
John,
It came from Malmoth. That thing that attacked Devil's Crossing. I escaped the city with a small group 2 weeks ago. Most died crossing the burning fields. My father was pulled into the bog by cannibals. I had to leave him. I was the only one who made it to Devil's Crossing. Malmoth has been a living nightmare since the Grim Dawn. I was part of the resistance there, if you can call it that. The Ethereals toyed with us, as if we ever had a chance. They let us fight on because they needed us. Needed our bodies for the grotesque things they make deep beneath the city. You think you're safe here, behind your stone walls. But those things from Malmoth will keep coming, and they will find you. and no fortress will ever be able to save you.
A chilling tale indeed. In our fight against the Chthonians, we've overlooked a growing ethereal threat. We must find Ulgrim. But maybe we can aid Malmeth at the same time. You've already done a great deal,
He's talking
but we
to me.
must ask for your help once again. We need you to strike at the heart of the ethereal invasion, far to the east, in the ruined city of Malmeth.
Fuck. Ah, man. This brings me back to whenever they first announced Ashes of Malmeth. And seeing that cutscene for the first time fucking blew my goddamn mind. Ugh. Yeah, truly. There's just a lot of uncovered plot threads that we need to explore. Whatever happened to Empyrean? What's he up to? I am once again asking for your aid for Malmeth. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Although I think my Bernie Sanders sounds more like Richard Nixon. What happened to Aldrich's daughter? Aldrich's daughter? Aldrich's daughter. Doesn't she... Is that Aldrich's daughter in Port Valbury? I thought that was somebody else. Yeah, the good ethereal and the Fleshworks. Yeah, it's been a while since I did that quest, but yeah. I knew it wasn't the daughter. But I wholeheartedly agree. I know for a fact, I don't know for a fact, but I'm quite certain that we're going to have another mainstay game in the Grim Dawn universe. I don't think it's going to happen for a few years. Probably not until 2023 or 2024, but I'm pretty sure. I would say like 80% sure that we're going to have another mainstay game. Hopefully a Grim Dawn 2, but if not that, something else that expands on Grim Dawn lore. I know for a fact they're not done with this game. I know that they have another announced project that they're working on as far as Grim Dawn. What's going on, MS? How you doing? They have another project that they're going to announce later in the year that has to do with Grim Dawn. But it's heavily implied that it's not a Grim Dawn-like experience. Oh man, it's really nice for me because I don't know if you know this about me, Dargan, but I do actually have a phone. So it'd be great for like when I want like a little extra Grim Dawn, so I can just like play Grim Dawn on my way to the toilet. Yeah, they are making a city builder / survival game that is called Farthest Frontier. It's very close to being done. It's going to be done, I think, in the fall of this year. But in the same thread that they talked about the very last content patch for Grim Dawn, they said that they had another game set in the Grim Dawn universe that they weren't ready to talk about just yet, but they were ready to tease. Could you imagine just like the homestead farming simulator, where it's like, use a spray bottle to get the dermaterans off your farm. Good job. You get 10 farming bucks. Use it for more seeds at the harvest shop. Get yourself an upgraded plow. Farm more vegetables. Feed the people in Devil's Crossing. You did it. I'd buy that game. Oh fuck. You guys earnestly want this game. No, don't want this game. You don't want this. A Stardew Valley clone, but every once in a while you have to kill ethereals. Honestly, if you can take like some of like the emotional component of Stardew Valley and turn it into like a sort of like a rougher survival game, where like you can lose some people that are a part of your stead, and you get attached to some people, and maybe the person who you're eyeing to be your sweetheart, maybe they get kidnapped in the middle of the night. It could be compelling. You get to smooch Olgrim. So good. You give Olgrim like bouquet of flower after bouquet of flower, and eventually is like, all right, I'll go on a date with you. Whatever. If you give him enough ethereal crystals. You need to sit down and have stew and talk about the good times. Oh shit. I think we created the most perfect game of all time. For $4.99 US, you can get a bundle of 999 Aether crystals, which is a pretty good deal. If you think about it like that, you're getting 2 ethereal crystals for 1 cent? What? That's so good. It's not like I was interested in stopping the ethereal invasion with you anyway, Kappa. Alright guys, this stream the stream has gone to a strange place. Obviously not the strangest it's ever been. But you know, I am gonna start getting ready for sleepy Betty bye times. If you're on Twitch, who we raiding tonight, baby? Who's doing Grim Dawn stuff tonight? Michaelas! Yeah! Absolutely, we're raiding Michaelas. Raid Sasha Gray? Yeah, we're obviously raiding Michaelas. Michaelas is the guy. I didn't realize Sasha Gray was on Twitch. Raid some other boy. Doesn't mean that the relationship between you and I has to sour. Doesn't mean you have to be a bit more open with what we have. I don't deny that, actually. I bet that having worked in the porn industry gives you a unique perspective on things. All right, you beautiful, beautiful little babies and boys. I'm gone like a pecan. Be good to each other. Be good to yourselves. And we'll hopefully see you on Friday. All right. Mwah.